Friends, gather around because this one's a doozy. President Trump, never one to shy away from a legally dubious idea, is back at it again. This time he's proposing we ship American citizens off to foreign prisons. You heard that right, not immigrants, citizens. Specifically, he's got his eye on sending violent criminals to El Salvador, a country with its own unique set of, shall we say, challenges. During a recent visit from El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, Trump expressed a keen interest in this deportation plan. Apparently the idea of sending homegrown criminals to a notoriously tough Salvadoran prison really tickles his fancy. Now you might think surely there are laws against this kind of thing, and you'd be right to think that. But the Trump administration, ever the optimist, is looking into the legality of it all. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt assures us they're trying to find a legal pathway to deport these heinous, violent criminals. Meanwhile, Attorney General Pam Bondi is busy studying the law, because apparently the Constitution is like a choose-your-own-adventure book for this administration. Here's the thing, deporting U.S. citizens, it's about as legally sound as a chocolate teapot. Experts are practically having a collective aneurysm at the mere suggestion. U.S. law is crystal clear, you can't deport citizens, except in very specific cases of naturalization fraud. It's like trying to return a library book you checked out decades ago, simply not how it works. Constitutional scholars are having a field day, pointing out the blatant disregard for due process and citizenship rights. Remember the American Revolution? One of the main grievances was the British exiling people to the colonies. Seems like someone skipped that chapter in history class. The Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that even people facing deportation have due process rights. But hey, why let a little thing like the Constitution get in the way of a good old-fashioned deportation spree, right? Now let's talk about El Salvador, our enthusiastic partner in this potential human rights fiasco. President Bukele, seemingly unfazed by the ethical implications, is happy to accept our deportees. He's even promised that anyone sent to this particular prison will never leave. Reassuring, right? But here's the kicker. El Salvador doesn't exactly have a stellar human rights record. The US itself has criticized their prison system for harsh and arbitrary detentions. It's like asking a fox to guard the henhouse and then acting surprised when feathers start flying. And let's not forget the financial incentive. The US is already paying El Salvador millions to detain suspected criminals. So basically we're paying them to potentially mistreat people who are, by the way, American citizens. That's like paying someone to punch you in the face and then thanking them for the workout. But wait, there's more. You know how they say those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it? Well, buckle up, because we've got a real-life example of this deportation debacle going horribly wrong. Remember Kilmar Abrego Garcia? He was deported to El Salvador by mistake. Now the US wants him back, but El Salvador, despite a Supreme Court order, refuses to release him. It's like lending someone your car and then having them tell you they're keeping it because they like the smell of the air freshener. This case perfectly illustrates the legal and logistical nightmare this deportation plan could create. We're talking about a complete erosion of due process, a disregard for our own laws, and a potential human rights crisis. All because some folks think it's a good idea to ship American citizens off to a foreign prison. And that, my friends, is why this debate matters. It's about the very fabric of our justice system, our commitment to human rights, and the fundamental idea of what it means to be an American citizen. And if we don't fight for those things, well, then who will?